Hello and welcome to Writer's Ramble. I'm Michael.
And I'm Deanna.
And welcome back to Story Time. Full disclosure, we're recording this way later than the last one. We had a big hiatus, we got married, a lot of stuff happened. If you've watched our Lord of the Rings episode, you'd know that. But if anything seems different, that's why. And we are on chapter 10?
Yep, chapter 10 called Samantha.
Samantha. Guys, strap yourselves in. This is a longer one.
Yeah. So at this point, I was a little bit older, and I decided, I was like, nope, chapters, they're only chapters if they're longer.
So you just started writing words just to make it happen?
And at this point, I also had decided third person was not my cup of tea, and it's kind of funny because this was the first time that I started writing in first person, and I just never went back. So this is where it all started for me, was writing first person. And in fact, I actually have a note in here, and it says, "Note to reader, for this chapter, Jace will be the first person. Enjoy." Except it's not this chapter, it's all chapters.
Yeah, for this chapter, quote unquote.
Unless, does the next one go back to third person? Maybe it does. It does. Okay.
Yeah, so if you don't know anything about Deanna's writing style, she can't do third person very well or just doesn't prefer to. I am a third person writer myself for the most part. First person feels very limited to me, but I mean, you struggle.
I mean, I think I can say I've improved since my first story
Sure,
with
yeah.
third person. But, it's just not for me personally. I just like first person. It feels more, I guess you could say, relatable, which you could say that's kind of a cheap trick. And I know it is. Shut up. I'll do it anyways.
So, I almost think it's funny that it took this long for you to switch to first, but then again, maybe it's not that surprising since you only got 9 chapters doing third so far.
Well, technically there's more that is third person, but I can tell that the chapter we're covering today I had rewritten, and so I rewrote it when I was older, but for whatever reason, I don't know why I didn't just do it in third person, because now it's going to flip-flop the next few videos, so be ready for that.
Let's see if we can notice any improvements since you wrote this one a little later.
This is going to be tough for me to read because, it's been ages since my eyes have even, touched these pages, and I keep wanting to die. But anyways, let's dive in.
Yeehaw!
I looked at her closer. "Samantha?" I asked again, touching her shoulder. Finally, she opened her eyes sleepily. She had hazel eyes. Blue and green mixed in, which is not hazel, but anyways. And a yellow ring around her pupils. Wait,
what?
They looked like an eclipse high up in the blue sky. She was beautiful.
I think she's got problems with her eyes.
No, I was describing, because, okay, you guys know, I'm sure, Samantha more or less is, supposed to look like me at that time, and so I just, stared in the mirror at my eyes, and I was like, let's see, there's some blue, there's some green, and there's, a little bit of yellowish, that's kind of mixed in, some people, they have that with their eyes.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's just...
I just described it weird.
Yeah, it just looked a lot brighter to me because you mentioned eclipse. I was like, is that that sounds like there's a problem.
Sounds like I'm trying to be all poetic, and it's... Anyways.
At least you didn't describe blue eyes as being like the ocean, like every writer in history has when it comes to blue eyes.
Yeah, I guess there's that. Love at first sight. There was something about her. It felt like I was looking at my future. That's a lot to suddenly know right away, but okay.
I guess that feels like a play on love at first sight, just worded differently.
Mm-hmm. Huh? Where am I? She asked, astonished. It surprised me to know she was talking to me. You're in a mine in San Diego, I finally answered, still shocked to see her. She then looked at me odd, as if she saw a talking cat. I'm out of that cell, she screamed. I jumped back. Now I was the one looking at her weird. We then heard Katie talking to someone outside of the tent. "What are you doing here?" she growled. I then recognized Sean's voice. "I heard you and Jace talking in his room, and I sorta, followed you guys."
Wait, I think you and I talked about this privately, or maybe on the podcast, but Samantha's there.
Yeah.
That's just so funny to me. But also, what was it you had said? Hold on, let me go back. When Samantha first talks to him, he's like, it surprised me that she was talking to me. Relatable. That's all I was going to say.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of continuing with what I last said. Sean here said, "I sort of followed you guys." Sean responded. "I quickly bolted out of the tent." Samantha followed. "You what?" I wailed. When Sean saw... Wait. When the hell? When Sean saw that... When Sean saw that I heard them, he quickly hid behind Katie.
As if Katie wasn't upset with him too.
I just love this next word. I asked my dad for some words, and it looks like I used a thesaurus because it's bad.
That always ends well.
Yeah. Anyways, Jace here says, "Trust me, Katie's not your concealment," I said. Could have definitely used something else other than concealment. Maybe, like...
Guard.
Yeah, she's not your, like, bodyguard or something like that.
Yeah. Protector.
Literally anything else. Which, by the way, tips to writers, thesaurus... It's great to have a thesaurus, but you don't want to overuse it, and you want to make sure that when you use a word in it, that it makes sense.
It might be a synonym, but you just could very well be using it incorrectly.
Yeah.
Like The Office. Michael often did that.
Yeah. Katie grabbed Sean by his shoulder and shoved him out in front of all of us. The way she did that made her almost look scary. She was shaking with anger. "I followed you, okay? That's right, I followed you," he admitted. "You what? I'm gonna kill you!" I screamed, getting ready to spring up and attack him.
I think all of them want to kill him. Katie looks like she's about to burst into a violent rage. Frothing at the mouth. She's gonna tear him asunder.
Katie put a hand up to stop me, giving the signal not to attack.
Oh, I guess she's not that angry.
She came to her senses.
I guess.
"Samantha?" Katie asked with the same look on her face as what I had.
What did he have?
Samantha looked at all of us. She looked confused and scared. "Who are you guys?" she finally asked. "I'm Jace Johnson," I introduced myself.
Why is she there if she doesn't know who they are? Why was she talking to him as if she knew him if she didn't know that? She's like, "I broke out of my cell." And then 2 seconds later, she's like, "Who are you?"
So dementia.
She has repressed trauma.
In a second here, anyways. Her next line. "Oh my, I haven't seen you in years," Samantha said, astonished, so looks like she does actually remember him.
Why was she talking to him before as if it was like a normal Tuesday, and then all of a sudden she's like, "I forgot, I remembered."
Well, I think the logic I was going with was like at this point they're like, I forgot how old they are. They're like 13, I think, and he established that it had been many years since they'd last seen each other. So if they saw each other when they were like younger, maybe they looked different enough that she maybe wouldn't have recognized him like right away. And now it's like, oh, I remember you.
I'm still just confused as to why she started the conversation if she didn't know them.
I know. But just before she could say anything else, Katie bumped in. "I am Katie Shiver, and I am a fairy."
Good to know, Katie. Thank you.
Good to know you have a shitty-ass last name anyways. "And I am Sean Johnson," he interrupted. And of course we went into a long story of what Katie is and why we are here.
We're not going to show you that part.
Too much.
Can't be bothered.
Well, since you're here, Samantha, we might as well bring you home and forget this all happened, I suggested. Everyone agreed except Samantha. No, 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 she refused, shaking her head with her eyes closed and her arms crossed.
I don't know, it's just very stereotypical. No, no, no.
Why not? Sean asked Samantha. Back at the cell, I was held captive, and across from my cell, I made friends with a kid named Connor. He was my only friend. We were very close, and I can't leave him. There are other kids that are held captive, and if we leave now, darkness will get me again. He won't stop unless we... darkness will get me again. He won't stop unless we stop him. Kill him if we have to. Damn. And I refuse to go home now without him. I think she means Connor.
Right.
And you can't stop me, she answered, laying out the rules.
Yeah, she really is laying out the rules, isn't she? So this is The Legend of Zelda if Zelda was freed early on in the game, and then she's like, we have to go back for my friend Connor.
Pretty much.
So this isn't rescuing Princess Zelda, this is rescuing Princess Zelda's friend Connor.
Rescuing Princess Connor.
Princess Connor. The most beautiful in all the kingdoms.
Hell yeah. Katie sighed. Okay, we will continue if you like. But I must warn you, it's a dangerous world out there, Katie said, beaten by the conversation. I know, believe me, Samantha shot
She
back.
gave up easy.
Huh?
She gave up easy.
Yeah, really.
Nobody wants to say no to Samantha. They're all scared of her.
Katie doesn't want to get sued. How did you get here anyways? I asked Samantha. She shrugged. I have no idea.
And neither do we.
Jace, did you have a dream of Samantha last night? Katie asked me with weary eyes. Don't ask that question to a young teenage boy, Katie. Don't ask those kind of questions.
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answers to. What kind of dream? You gotta be more specific.
Yes, how did you know? I responded. You must have had a vision during your dream. You will experience them. And you must have had one of Samantha, so when Samantha was asleep, she traveled back over here, Katie finished. I still don't get it. I'm confused, Samantha responded with a haunting voice. I don't know why it's haunting. Why did I put that in?
Because she is like dream traveling, a scary thing, maybe.
I want to know what a haunting voice would sound like in this case. It's like, I still don't get it. I'm confused.
I still don't get it. I'm confused.
Katie tried explaining again. Okay, a day or two ago, Jace had a vision of you needing help, and... Samantha interrupted. Wait! The same day, during the sunset, I was remembering myself back in 4th grade, and Jace went to my school. So from my disappearance, I was hoping that someone from my school would realize and come to get me. Jace was the only kid I remembered, so I said to myself, Jace, please come save me, I need you. And maybe that's how Jace heard me, Samantha said with a theory.
Link, you must save me. Wait a second, so she said she doesn't remember anybody from her school, but Jace hadn't gone to the same school as her for a couple years. Did she not remember someone from, like, her school later?
She was kidnapped. She wasn't at school.
Has she been kidnapped for several years?
Yeah.
Oh. and all she had to do this whole time was be like, hey, random kid I saw a couple years ago, come save me. And then he didn't even have to save her. She just teleported to him. Okay.
That could possibly be, Katie said, gesturing Samantha. I think I meant gesturing to Samantha while she went to a minecart digging through it.
Katie doesn't even know how it works either. She's just like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. Like, she's the de facto sort of, like, guide to magic in this world, and she's like, yeah, that's probably how it works.
What are you getting? I asked. This, she responded, holding up a Dimitri, aka the Triforce for those that fell asleep and don't know what we're talking about. It's basically the Triforce. I just thought Dimitri, I was like, that doesn't sound like a person name. This is what it's gonna be called, Dimitri, fuck yeah.
So, if you forget, much like I do, that this is supposed to be an item and not a person, just try to keep in mind, it's just like a symbol. It's not even.
Could have been named Roberto.
She just thought Dimitri sounded cool.
Dimitri's can think, hear, and move. So in a way, it's alive, but it can't see. So that's why you may find a lot, because they had gotten lost. But anyways...
Wait, this doesn't sound like the Triforce.
No.
Yeah, like, this is basically the Triforce, except it thinks it moves, it doesn't see, though, and there's a lot of them, apparently.
Don't think about it. Think of, like...
This is the Triforce, if the Triforce was nothing like the Triforce.
Think of, like, the Triforce, but, like, imagine you have ones that you can, like, collect and pick up, like, in Hyrule.
It's a Pokemon.
Items that you can
or
collect.
Korok seeds.
Yeah, it's more in line with, like, that, but it has powers.
Oh boy. Who doesn't want more Korok seeds to find?
Dimitri's can also teleport if it's focusing hard enough. Wow, I spelled focusing horribly.
Okay, you gotta give us the spelling.
Okay, Focis.
Focuses? You didn't even put ing. If you focus us enough.
Oh, no, it's focuses. Not focusing.
Sure, honey.
Just a disclaimer again, I did not read as a child. Not much, anyways. Okay, so they can teleport if they focus hard enough. And it must have heard Samantha's thoughts, and it gave Jace the ability to hear that. And when you two were asleep, it teleported Samantha to find you. So that's how Samantha had gotten here, and why Jace is having visions, Katie explained.
So, okay, I was making fun of it for not explaining it very well before, but then it was explained better. But Katie had already kind of written it off as like, yeah, that's probably how it worked. She basically said what Samantha said was right, but then she explained it further, but also didn't say that what Samantha said was wrong. I feel like you wrote the first bit, and then you felt like explaining it more, but you didn't erase the first bit, and then just kept rolling with it.
Well, I wrote this in first person, and the next chapter is third person, so that shows how much I thought ahead.
And then the next chapter after that's going to be in second person. And then the next chapter after that's going to be a fourth wall break where the author talks directly to you.
Can I come? Sean asked. No, it's too dangerous. Go home, I answered instantly. Oh, I won't get in the way, I promise. Anyways, I could help. Please, Sean begged. I finally gave up. Oh, fine, you can come, but follow right behind me. I can't lose you, I answered. I promise, Sean vowed. And that is the end of this chapter.
I just know that Sean is going to be ruining things left and right.
Because he's a doofus.
Because you've made him to be the most incompetent human possible.
I'm, like, trying to remember, because, like, there's another page here where, like, I had the original version, but, like, it looks like Sean just has, like, a bruised cheek and, like, a bloody lip, and he looks like he's not doing too well. Like...
Katie finally had enough.
Like, I think... Either maybe would
everyone else is smiling.
Yeah, Sean's having a tough time. But like, I feel like there's an instance where maybe like Samantha originally like what I don't remember. I was gonna say maybe she like in her sleep accidentally like kicked him or something, but I don't even know if he was in the same tent, so I don't know.
So you didn't even do anything wrong in this instance. You just had the characters beat him up.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyways. The next chapter, chapter 11, will be The Adventure in the Mine, so stay tuned for that one. Do you have any thoughts on this chapter?
I find it to be very interesting. This would be a very clever subversion of the damsel in distress trope if you had any knowledge of storytelling up to that point. I think he just wanted Samantha in the story, and this was the easiest way you could think to get her in there. If you were to maybe rewrite this nowadays, this could almost be interesting because no one would expect a story of this format for the main damsel in distress love interest to suddenly just show up. I certainly didn't expect it.
Yeah, divert expectations.
But it does, kind of cause its own problems, like I was saying, where it's not like he has a strong motive to go save the person he loves. Also, he doesn't love her. He just met her one time in, 4th grade or whatever.
Sir, it was established he had a crush on her.
That's not... Okay, I'm not going to argue here.
He's also apparently already in love.
Yeah, exactly. Whether he loved her or not, he doesn't have that motivation anymore. Now they're going after Connor, someone he's never even met.
But he's important to Samantha. They were like kind of cell buddies, cross cell buddies.
See, okay, writing advice. If you're going to sort of try to subvert expectations like this, and you still want there to be like strong narrative thrust, good motivation for the characters, you've got to then establish new motivation. It's one thing to be like, oh, I've got to do the right thing, or oh, I've got to help Samantha save her cellmate. It's another thing to actually like maybe show that, or just make us believe that she cares enough about this person to go back for him when she had been imprisoned for years and had finally been able to escape. And also, sort of going into world building now, a different subject. Dimitri's seem really overpowered. Like, they just kind of thought about each other, and then Dimitri's like, I got you. And then she was not imprisoned anymore. And then she was fine. Like, she had been imprisoned for 4 years.
Going by that logic, it would make more sense for her to use the Dimitri to then communicate to, like, Connor in his cell and be
exactly.
like, hey, this is all you gotta do to get out.
They essentially have cost-free transportation at all times if they have a Dimitri. And I haven't read this, but I almost guarantee they're not going to use it again for that purpose. They're not even going to try to use it to get in, I bet. They're probably going to, like, walk there.
Say, hey, now they can get a scooter. That's better.
Scooter. It's not a car. It's not a plane.
This scooter doesn't work for shit in the sands of Egypt.
It doesn't work on anything except asphalt and paved roads. So, yeah, obviously there's a couple issues, and, I could also get into the issue of consistent storytelling, i.e. keeping the point of view consistent, keeping the person perspective consistent. I'm not gonna get into that, though, because I already know that you have, your preferences, and you're trying to still figure it out at this point. But it is funny that it's going back to third person now.
Yeah, so tip 2, writers, make sure you find out early on what perspective you want to write with. Like, it's fine if you're writing in first person, you have, like, more than one perspective, like, with different characters, like, that's totally fine. But, like, just keep it to, like, first person or third person. Don't flip-flop. No one wants that.
That's just gonna be jarring every time it happens.
Mm-hmm. I think that concludes this episode. I'm Deanna.
And I'm Michael.
And stay tuned next time for Chapter 11, The Adventure in the Mine.
There's gonna be a Balrog. And Jace is gonna die. No, actually it'd be Katie, I guess. Because she's like the magic one. She's gonna fight with a Balrog as she falls into the depths of the earth. And Jace is gonna be like, Katie! Sad music playing. Alright, bye.
Bye.